I'm in Manila, capital of the Philippines, home to one of the world's most ruthless prison gangs, the Commandos. I want to know how they've come to exert control over the world's largest prison.
It's a gang war.
They stabbed him?
Stabbed him and beat him to death.
Manila is an epicenter of emerging gang violence, where the police and gangs
There's a homemade cocktail right here.
battle for control of the city.
This guy's dead. That's gang life, right there.
I want to see how gang leader Moja operates on the street
We want to be bigger than the mafia.
and find out how Commando gang boss JB is able to control his prison empire with total authority.
We almost killed that guy. There's a stabbing. There's chaos everywhere.
In my journey to the dark heart of Manila's underworld, I'm going to uncover the codes that enable gang leaders to reign supreme in the world's biggest max security prison that also turns out to be a gangster's paradise. I'm Lou Ferrante. I ran my own crew in the New York Mafia. I made millions for the Gambino crime family. I eventually got busted, locked up for 8.5 years. In prison, I educated myself. I realized crime is wrong, and I gave it up for good. Now I teach and write about gang life. I'm gonna use my insider knowledge to unlock the secrets of the world's deadliest gangs. Manila, capital of the Philippines, Southeast Asia. Gangs are plaguing the city. They're everywhere. Some operating out of prison, while others are earning a violent reputation on the streets. I'm on my way to Valenzuela, a city on the edge of Metro Manila. Supposed to meet a guy by the name of Mojo. He's the local street boss for a gang called True Brown Style, TBS. Mojo might have some juice in his hood, but I'm hoping he can tell me where the real power lies. These gangs are wary of strangers. The fact that I'm ex-mafia means nothing to them. Moja tells me to head to the fairground on the outskirts of town and wait. I have no idea what Moja looks like or what to expect. Mojo?
Yes.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Nice to meet you finally. How's it going, man?
I'm all right.
You're a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
So this is your assassins. How old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
26. Cool. You're
24.
24. And how old are you?
28.
I've been to enough late night meets to know that Moja and his homies are sizing me up. These guys may look like kids, but kids ain't that smart, and they think they're invincible. That's what makes them so dangerous.
Okay, I go.
To avoid surveillance, Moja wants to meet up in his own hood. You guys know True Brown Style? No? While Moja checks the area for cops, I'm curious to know if folks around here will talk to me about TBS. You know the gangs around here? No? You know TBS? No one will talk. They're either scared or they look to TBS for protection. Okay, all right, thank you. I noticed there's a bunch of guys with red up here. Everybody seems to be wearing either a red jersey or a red pair of shorts. I'm gonna find out if that's their gang color, because it seems like to me, why'd everybody come out tonight with red on? I must have checked out with Moja, because he sent 2 of his boys to come and get me.
What you want from me, man?
What I want from you?
To put a bullet in your head?
Yeah, you want a bullet in your head?
Yeah.
I'll put one back in your head.
I'm a gangster.
You don't look like a gangster to me. TBS may look like the local boys club, but they're not selling cookies. What's up, Moja? They're running guns, selling drugs, kidnapping, and killing. You a member too?
OG.
So men and women in the gang? Okay. OG stands for Original Gangster. I heard the title a lot in prison. Your gang colors is red?
Yes.
We just represent Bloods.
Okay. So is that where it comes
But
from,
our
America?
gang originated in San Diego, California, and New Mexico. We have some chapters in London, Dubai, and
London
some
and Dubai?
Yes.
Do you answer to the Bloods back in the
Yes.
States? You do.
Yes.
You got a thing with them still? Okay. You guys got guns?
We have 67 guns here.
67 guns?
Yes.
So pretty much a gun for every single person?
Yes, yes.
What kind of weapons?
38 caliber, shotguns, Uzi, and 40 caliber and 45 and 9 mm.
These are police revolvers. These are all 38. In my country, these are police revolvers. Where do you get these guns?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yes.
What are these for, guys?
To kill.
Yeah?
Shit to kill.
Have any of these guns been used to kill somebody?
Yes.
Many times.
Many times.
Yes, many times.
Whoa. Whoa. You got one in the round, in the chamber? No. Wow, nickel-plated 45 automatic.
19 rounds.
19 rounds.
Yes.
That's a nice sized bullet too, wow. Colt 45 bullet is like my thumb. You get one of those shots through you, it will break every rib, puncture the lungs, you're done. One shot, that's what a Colt 45 is meant to do, take you down, finished. That's the boss's gun.
Yes.
Do you have to kill if the gang tells you? Is that the same thing with men and women?
Yes, whenever the gang is calling me to do some killing, maybe I can.
A mafia gang member is expected to kill if ordered. I count my blessings I never did that. You guys got tattoos too for the TBS? Let me see your tattoo. Show it to me. Who's that? That looks like you.
Yes.
Get out of here.
This is mine.
Oh, you again?
Done.
With a mask on? You're on everybody's body? Do you have to have a tattoo of you to be in this gang? No. He does if he wants to.
Yes.
So that's a sign of respect?
Yes.
But if you do it, right, you got to feel like a special...
I'm a loyal
Right, got you.
OG.
In a circle. Okay. So Moja, are you the big boss or just the big boss around here?
Around here in Venezuela.
Who's the big boss?
OG Lawrence.
And who's he?
In Bilibid, our boss.
TBS is growing fast, with an arsenal of weapons and no shortage of new recruits. OG Moja is the boss on the street, but I want to meet OG Lawrence, who's the head honcho. He's in Bilibid prison. What's he serving? What kind of sentence?
2 life sentences.
Really?
Yes.
That's murder, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if an OG in prison sends word to the street and says, I want something done,
Yes.
do you guys
We're
listen?
gonna be done.
It's done.
Yes, because our OG was sent to prison because of our gang. As a respect, we should do our part too. Because he's doing his sacrifice for us, right?
Okay.
Without them, what is TBS?
Bilibid Maximum Security Prison is the world's largest prison. This joint holds 20,000 hardened criminals, murderers, kidnappers, rapists, and 95% of them are gangsters, including OG Lawrence, who I hope to see today. Hey, thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Thank you. Louis Ferrante. There were a couple of murders here right before I arrived, so I'm unsure what mood these guys will be in. I lived in a joint right after a double homicide, and the last thing we wanted to see was a stranger. I ain't never seen a joint like this. There are shops, restaurants, taxis, you name it. I can't believe I'm in a maximum security penitentiary and they got axes. Even harder to believe is that they are trusted with their own head count. This is mind-boggling to me. There's thousands and thousands of people in this prison, and the head count took like a couple of minutes. They're literally trusting the gang members from each dormitory to tell them how many people are in the prison. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. Located on the outskirts of Manila, Bilibid Prison spreads out across 1,400 acres. Built in 1944, it's the biggest prison in the world. There are 12 gangs here. Each one of them is housed in a separate dormitory. I want to meet OG Lawrence, who TBS tells me is the big boss of their gang. Which way? Bahala Naga? But TBS has no presence in Bilibid, and OG Lawrence has fallen in with another gang called Bahala Naga. That's strange. Bahala Naga? That way?
That area.
That area,
Yeah.
okay? Okay, past
White
there?
and yellow and blue.
Bahala Naga.
Yeah.
Yeah, where? Yeah, over here?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the next door.
Next door? Lawrence?
No.
No? Yep.
Hey, Lawrence, come out.
Lawrence, here? Yeah. Lawrence, what's up, Lou? How you doing? I met your boys on the street. You come out and talk? What's up, buddy? On the streets of Manila, OG Lawrence is still a legend.
Welcome to my humble house.
In the Mafia, he would be the equivalent of a Don.
When you were the leader of TBS, everybody must have kissed your ass. How did it feel?
Siyempre, masaya lahat. Sikat ka. Sikat ka, kilala ka, maraming babae.
Outside on the street, the kids that I met, they think of you. You get it? Like a saint. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Siguro masyado lang silang humanga sa akin kahit na sa totoo lang hindi naman tama yung ginawa ko.
How come TBS doesn't have a gang inside prison?
Dito sa Pilipinas, iba talaga yung gang sa labas at sa loob. Sa loob, iba yung gang sa loob. Meron kaming leader sa gang namin dito na ako.
But in here, you need to be part of something to survive, right?
Tama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So OG Lawrence is now part of another gang, and in here, he's lone man on the totem pole. I wonder what his followers would think if they could see him now, stripped of his power.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Okay. Be good. Lots of luck, okay? Thank you.
12 gangs rule Bilibid, and have done so long before OG Lawrence was even born. No way will they give up their turf to a new kid on the block. Within each gang, there's a hierarchy. At the top of the pyramid is the gang commander. In order to maintain peace, there are 12 gang commanders who meet every week to sort out disputes. Today's meeting is crucial. On the heels of 2 murders, there was a near riot just a few days ago, and an emergency session has been called. Gang meetings are usually held behind closed doors. I'm granted exclusive access. Not even guards are allowed in.
May very alarming situation ngayon, sir. Gusto ko ma-share ito sa lahat ng ating mga kapabosyo.
As far as I understand, there's never been an outsider in this place ever. These meetings are closed. It's like a huge sit-down.
Tapos nag-aaway-aaway na sa gate. Mamaya may nagsaksakan. Ayaw natin nangyari.
This room reminds me of the scene from The Godfather when all the Dons got together to figure out how they were going to take over Cuba. And these guys have enough of an army where they probably could.
Yung mga boso napipilitan, palu-paluin na lang yung mga miyembro nila.
This is a serious meeting, and this guy walks in late. Either he couldn't find his underwear, or he's a big shot.
I mean, it's that whole celebrity ego type thing, fashionably late. It's a power move, power show.
It turns out he's the leader of one of the oldest prison gangs, the Commandos. He's serving 2 life sentences for kidnapping. He rules with an iron fist, and his name is J.B. Sebastian. I asked for a meeting with him and was directed to the headquarters of the charitable foundation J.B. has established to help prisoners and their families.
Wow, nice. This place is nicer than some of the social clubs we had in Brooklyn and Queens. Big screen TV. I can't even believe I'm inside of a prison. I can't believe it's as hot as hell outside, and the air conditioning is beautiful in here. Amazing stuff right here. Here's a tennis racket up here. If my guess is right, it looks like it went through somebody's head, and maybe it's a little bit indicative of what could happen to you if you screw up. Maybe then again, maybe he just hits the ball real hard. Who knows? Could be a great player.
Hey.
And you are? JB.
JB.
How you doing, bro? What's up? Nice to meet you. Same here, same here.
Take a seat, take a seat. What can you say about the place?
I love it. I'm impressed.
How about a cup of coffee first?
Sounds good.
Coffee, hot chocolate, or what?
Black coffee.
Black coffee. Kape nga, may kapeng itim.
I could tell right away that when JB says jump, people jump. I definitely found the boss.
Let's cut this short. No? You're here for what?
I'm here to find out how gangs operate inside and outside. How long you been in power now?
Almost 2 years.
2 years.
There's an existing commander at that time. And then suddenly, the whole commando community wanted a new leadership. So they conducted an election. Someone nominated me. And then another 5 guys nominated me at the same time.
Elected, like a democratic election? The other guy just willingly steps down?
I don't know if he was forced to resign or if it is his own choice. And I don't care.
JB claims his appointment was democratic, but there's no democracy in gang life. What democracy requires the leader's name tattooed on your skin?
So it says JB Sebastian. That's your gang leader on your arm. JB Sebastian, Commandos. Let me see yours. JB underneath it and Sebastian. You know, in my country, I got the hots for a girl. You tattoo a name on your ass or something. Over here, you got the leader's name on your body. What's that tennis racket? It's broken in half.
There's a newbie drug dealing inside the facility. He's just a newbie in the middle of the court. Come here. Who do you think you are?
Ooh.
It cracked.
Okay.
So much for his fake democracy. Like a dictator, he can execute summary justice whenever he wants.
Let me show you some of my dormitories.
Your name is here. Why is that?
Tradition. Names of the commanders and the assistant commanders in the walls of our dormitories.
Okay.
This prison is unique. The authorities allow the gangs to run their own dormitories, but to prevent territorial warfare, they're careful to space the dorms well apart. Unlike prisons I served time in, here gang structure is all out in the open.
How many guys are in your gang?
1,000, I think.
Okay, so technically you have 1,000 assassins at your beck and call.
And then it's up to me if I'm going to use them as assassins.
Explain this to me. So here's you at the top.
The commander, the second boss as the assistant commander. Here are the names of the advisors.
Who appoints them?
Basically, it's the commander.
Go ahead, who else?
There's a mayor or the father of the dormitory.
Okay.
Or the branch manager of the business.
Okay.
If there's something wrong with the dormitory, the mayor's in charge.
Wait, who puts the mayors in office and the vice mayors? You.
Of course.
How about the treasurer? Does he handle the money?
Yes, the money.
And the auditor?
He audits the treasurer.
So you have people watching people.
People watching people, exactly.
How does the money funnel up to the top? Like if on the street in the mafia, you pay your capo pays
From the treasurer to the mayor, from the mayor to the commander.
So the money goes straight up to the top, a pyramid.
Pyramid.
And who watches you at the top? Are you above the people?
I'm just a servant
Okay.
and a king at the same time.
I don't know about a servant. I've been hanging out with you. You're not a servant. I'll buy the king part. I'm not gonna buy the servant part. Let's not get crazy. You have plenty of servants around you.
Okay.
Like any smooth politician, JB wants me to meet one of his happy appointees.
How you doing? Good, yeah? How long have you been in charge?
Almost 2 years now.
2 years?
Yes.
What's the last problem that you felt you had to bring to JB?
Money.
Money?
Some.
What happened with money?
Someone's stolen their fund.
So when you were going to JB to talk to him about it, were you nervous? No. No, you knew JB trusts you?
JB's mayor might be denying it, but he can't hide his fear.
Maybe I should resign, like a real man.
Suddenly the walkabout is going all wrong. JB knows it don't look good.
What if JB didn't trust you?
Let's got it.
I'm seeing firsthand how JB operates. It's just like the mafia. The boss, the capos, the rank and file soldiers, and there's repercussions if you step out of line or say the wrong thing. Gang life allows no mercy. Back on the streets, TBS is expanding its power base. Tonight, they're initiating 2 new recruits into the gang, and I've been invited to watch. I totally understand why these kids want to be part of a gang. It's the same reason I joined a crew when I was a teen. It's about bonding, status, and quick money. Most of all, it gives you a sense of belonging.
Who's coming in? What's your name? Nice to meet you, James. Is this a big honor for you?
Yes.
Yeah? Have you been waiting for this a long time?
Yes.
Yeah? Who else is getting straightened out tonight? How old are you?
15.
You're 15 years old? How long have you wanted to be part of the gang?
2 years.
2 years. Since you're 13, you wanted to be in?
To join TBS, these two have to first show how far they're willing to go for the gang. For James, it means enduring a 30-second beatdown, which TBS calls a massacre. For girls like Lily, there's another option.
Whenever a girl decided to join our group, she got choice to be beaten up by an OG like me.
Okay.
Or had some fun with the rest of the peers.
Oh, fun, really? You get
Yes.
passed around?
Yes.
How did you get in?
I get it like my nose bleeds afterwards. I was
Okay.
blindfolded by a scarf, Then they give me like 30-second massacre by means of slaps.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so they slapped the shit out of you. Okay, they're blindfolding the guy they're gonna beat down right now, who's gonna be initiated. How do you feel? Hurt? Yeah?
James can barely stand up. If this ain't an indication of how little your so-called friends love you, then nothing is.
What was this? The handshake? Yes. He's in? Gangster? Let me see. Holy shit.
Okay, next.
Next is the 15-year-old girl. It's gonna break my heart.
Lily has chosen to be beaten up instead of getting gang raped. I wish with all my heart right now she would just go home. Lily is about to make the biggest decision of her young life.
I guess it's a lot of just peer pressure, which is fucked up. Mojo, let me ask you a question. She's crying. Does she really want it?
She's nervous because she saw the initiation, that's why.
Because he got beat up so bad.
Yeah.
So it's just the beating that scares her?
Yes.
Okay. She don't want to do it, right?
Yes, because she's scared.
Yeah, so let her go home. Send her home. Yeah.
Moja is smart enough to know that a hesitant recruit will never be a devoted follower. Makes me wonder if Moja has an eye toward the future.
So where do you want to be in 10 years?
We want to be the biggest gang in the whole world. We want to be bigger than the mafia.
Really? Do you realize that most gangsters end their lives either dead or in jail?
Yes.
You think you could be different?
I don't think so.
You think you're gonna either end up dead or in jail too?
Yes.
Yeah.
For Moja, the gangster life is glamorous. Back in the day, I felt that way too. But right after I left him, I came upon a young kid shot dead just moments before. People on the scene told me the guy was part of a stick-up gang and the cop shot him. Then I find out this is not the only gang member dead on the street. 2 blocks away, there's another one.
Gangster movies make violence just so like glorified. And I mean, this is the reality right here. This is real life. And at the end of the scene, the actor doesn't just get up and walk away like the movies. This guy's dead. That's a human life. There's gonna be a mother, a sister, a brother crying their eyes out in the morning. That's gang life right there. That's gang life.
I'm back at Bilibid Max Security Prison, where gang boss JB Sebastian is charming the ladies.
Thank you, JB, for welcoming us.
JB's personal influence extends beyond the prison walls. Just how far becomes clear to me when I find out who his guests are.
This group is composed of legal interns of the Office of the Solicitor General, who will be the future lawyers of the country.
Most of the presidents of my own country began their careers as lawyers. Is it possible that JB is entertaining a future Filipino president? Well, if that idea seems far-fetched, wait till you see what he showed me in his office.
This is the current director of the Bureau of Corrections. This is the superintendent, and this is me.
Who's this guy?
He's the president of the Philippines.
You gotta be kidding me.
This is the Secretary of Justice.
What blows my mind is you're a convicted kidnapper.
Okay.
And a serial kidnapper. It wasn't just once.
Okay. A
And
hijacker and a carnapper as well.
There you go. In America, if our attorney general sat down with a gang member, his job would be lost. by the evening news.
I think they need the leadership of the gangs.
They need the leadership. Otherwise, chaos.
I think so.
Yeah. In the penitentiaries I was in, we had stashes of weapons literally everywhere. So you got to have an arsenal in this joint. A place like this, probably everything.
I wish I could share it to you.
Yeah, I wish you could too. Can you? Can I stumble upon it myself?
You won't believe it.
Can I look around myself?
My weapon is this.
Yeah, I know.
Computer, media, camera. We have our own TV network. I think it's safe to claim that this is the first and ever local television network inside a maximum security facility.
Who runs it? Who's the CEO of the network?
Basically, it's me. It's like a normal TV network wherein you have a local news network, late night show, noontime show, comedy, drama. This guy, he's Boogie, film editor.
Okay.
In one of the biggest TV network.
In real life, in the real world.
And was still outside.
So are you a commando too?
Yes, I'm a commander.
You are. How'd you become a commando?
I talked to the former assistant director of the Bureau of Correction. I asked him a favor that he could bring Boogie to me in here.
So let's say, for example, if there's a murder, so like, stay tuned, murder in Bilibid Section 2.
It so happened that there's an incident of stabbing. So there's chaos everywhere.
Okay.
So in order to clear the confusion, we had a news flash. Show it, please. I, as the news anchor, interviewing the superintendents and the commander of the guards.
Okay.
Maraming salamat po. Mula po sa ating commander of the guard, sir. May mensahe po.
Kinakailangan panatilihin natin talaga yung katahimikan dito sa loob ng maximum security compound.
Muli po, JB Sebastian po, BTV3, Nagulang. Maraming salamat po.
By you having the TV station for Bilibid, did the other gangs feel like you're controlling the information that gets put out onto the compound?
I don't know if they felt like that because they know me, that I'm a man of neutrality.
I want to see if Mr. Neutrality is neutral when it comes to money.
There's guys running shops, food shops. Now, on the street, if there are little shops on the street, they pay protection.
You must have the blessing of the God leader
to open up a store.
to open up a store.
And then you got to kick a piece upstairs, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's say this guy wants to open a store
Right.
under the supervision of my gang. Of course, there would be some stake for me.
JB has his own gang, his own TV station, and many of the shops in Bilibid are paying him tribute. Could it be that he's really running the prison? One person would know.
Lou Ferrante, I'm here to see the general. I have an appointment.
Ex-Army General Gaudencio S. Pangilinan is director of the National Bureau of Prisons.
Thank you. General, how are you?
He oversees the country's 7 penitentiaries, including Bilibid.
This is the biggest prison nationwide. We have 20,000 inmates here out of
Amazing.
the total 36,000. Our maximum security is designed for 6,000 only. We have double that number.
Wow. How much do you rely on the gangs, the hierarchy, to keep control of the whole place?
There's a hierarchy that is necessary within every facility. There's a council of elders. Their part is specific. They assist the prison authorities in implementing prison rules.
Okay.
They maintain order. They don't tread beyond that. Nothing more. There are stories like how they controlled before maybe, but not in my time.
Right.
The general tells me there's sound reasoning behind his philosophy.
We're the only prison in the world that allowed the visitors to get into the dormitories.
I thought that was amazing.
As part of the conjugal
Never
visit.
saw that before.
A lot of people has been criticizing that. We're criticizing that. In running a prison, you need to give them as much privileges as you can, that you can take away anytime.
That you can take
Not
away.
as a blackmail. If you don't behave, we cut the number of visiting days.
Okay.
I learned in my readings that managing a prison restraint has to be calibrated.
The general uses rewards and punishments to control the inmates. How else could so few guards watch over so many prisoners?
It's 1:35 in the morning. I'm on my way to Tondo, an epicenter of gang activity in Manila.
The police are at war with the gangs. They invited me on a raid to capture the new boss of another street gang, the J.R. Bate Gang. The cops gunned down the previous boss earlier this year. Tondo is one of the poorest and most dangerous areas of Manila, with an average of 4 murders a week.
Colonel Tendero?
Yes, yes.
How are you? Nice
Fine.
to meet you. Lou Ferrante.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks
Come
for
here.
inviting me tonight.
Colonel Tendero is head of Police Precinct 2 in Tondo and in charge of tonight's operation.
I believe that this person will not be caught alive. He will really fight with us.
Expecting them to shoot back?
Yes.
The whole team has been called in for tonight's raid.
Pagpasok doon ha, alam niyo na kagad yung pupuntahan ha.
A lot of irony in this. It's exactly the way my crew and I planned the heist. We went over last-minute details, checked all weapons, told who was going to do what. This is the first time I've seen it from the other side of the law.
Wala nang questions? Wag na kayong lalayo ha, dito lang kayo ha.
Did you guys ever go in on one where the guy, fires back?
We had an experience.
Gunfight?
Gunfight. This is the person.
This is the last guy that fired back at them on a raid. This is the condition of him. He slumped over dead. I got this flak jacket on that they asked me to wear.
The raid is taking place in a shanty town by a seaport near the southern tip of Tondo.
That's M16, right? Okay, you're going in first.
The police won't let me follow them in. They said it's too dangerous. But I'm wondering, given my background, if they're afraid I might switch sides.
They seem to be looking around for the guy right now. They're all cocked and ready to roll. If the guy resists, there's gonna be a shootout.
I can hear them sweeping through the slum, but it's too dark to see anything.
We're left with very little backup, and this guy musters his forces and comes flying out of this gate. It's dangerous. It's the first time since I left the life that I wish I had a gun again.
Police! Bukas pinto, police! Sa mo pinto! Subot ka kay Gang! Diyan ka lang, diyan ka lang! Ito na ka dito eh. Walang pumasok dyan sa inyo. Ibigay ko. Wala ah, wala ah. Wala tatakbo. Babanatan ko na. Ninyo, wag kang tatakbo. Babanatan ko kayo. Dapa. Hoy, hawin ko. Tiga rito. Nakina mo, marami na kami pinatay dito ha. Baka matulad ka ha.
Everything is clear. You're safe now.
Here's some residue of the shabu.
Okay.
Of the illegal drugs. This is escape. So if a policeman will come, they'll just jump here.
The gang boss they were looking for got away, but the cops took down a couple of his crystal meth dealers.
It's not bad enough these people live in total abject poverty, but they have to live in fear of the gangs too every single day of their lives.
After spending the night in Shantytown, I can see why gang members seem happier in Bilibid. In here, all they gotta worry about is JB. I wonder how he got into the gangster life.
When you first got in with gangs when you were young, did you long for respect, for a fraternity? Tell me what was going through your mind back then.
During my young days, I think it is an influence from my dad.
So he was a gangster?
But he's still a badass.
Yeah.
45 caliber pistol in his waist.
Still.
A 2-door sports car. A big bike. I don't know if you can still ride it.
You come in, your father's a gangster, and you became, yeah? It is.
I think so.
And when you were a kid, did he want to bring you into this life?
That's why I never felt the feeling of a follower or ordinary member. It's It's like an automatic leadership.
Automatic.
Passed from my dad, from my uncles.
Your uncles too?
From his compadres.
Okay.
That's
So this
why
is all you know?
I'm automatic leader, but at a very young age.
But gang life is all you know then, right?
JB was groomed to be a leader, and he obviously loves the role. But leadership has its share of problems. It turns out that the day before I met him, a member of his gang attacked two rivals with a knife. The other gang planned to retaliate. In order to keep the peace, JB ordered retribution against his own man. In gang life, it's called cleaning your own laundry.
We almost killed him. He's now in coma, but this is the bad thing. That guy is my sister's father-in-law. It's family. But I have to do this.
Since I met JB, he'd been trying to act like some kind of diplomat or CEO. Now, for the first time, he's admitting what it really takes to be the leader of a prison gang. And there was more to come.
This is the territory of the other group, the Sige Sige
This is?
Sputnik.
Okay.
A month ago,
Okay.
one of my guys was killed here,
Over here.
in this place.
In this court?
In this place.
What was he doing here?
Gambling.
No kidding. Was it over a gambling beef?
No, it's a gang war.
Who killed him? The Sputnik gang?
Stabbed him and beat him to death. It's my racket. Tingin pa yung dalawa.
I know there's more to this story, but JB has just switched from murder to tennis. For the first time, I see a prison guard, probably stationed here because of the recent homicides.
I heard there was a murder right here in this place a few days, a couple weeks ago, right? Were you there that day?
Yes.
The guard tells me the problem started with a basketball game.
When we arrived, we saw the gunmate of JB sprawling on the floor with the blood oozing on his body. JB's group, the Commando gang, wanted to get even with the other gang.
He explains that to stop it from escalating into an all-out gang war, the authorities called JB and the rival gang leader to a sit-down.
But nobody else got hurt?
Actually, off the record.
Off the record?
Off the record means only one thing. Someone paid with his life.
Off the record.
So that was the end of it? What else happened?
I can't tell you anymore.
I'd like to find out more about the basketball murder. Now that JB is done playing the sax, running his TV station, and playing tennis, he may be ready to talk.
We jumped off. Different places.
Right.
But afterwards, we heard that one of our guys was killed.
How'd you react to that at first?
Things happen so fast, you cannot react the way you want it. But I think the result is favorable to me.
In the mafia, if one gangster whacks another without the boss's permission, then the killer is the next to die.
Did you imitate or emulate the American mafia? Because it's exactly how we had it structured to stop violence. The bosses had to sanction a hit. We had to try to settle it diplomatically first. If all things failed, then, yeah, shit happens, Guy ends up in the trunk.
5 or 10 of our advisors of the gangs, the old guys, wanted the hit on that very same day.
They wanted the hit right away.
I didn't say no, and then I didn't say yes. Other guys, also old guys, told me, okay, stay cool, stay calm, use your brain, relax. We'll do it in the right time. I didn't say yes, and I didn't say no. I didn't even react. And then I go to my room, take a cigarette, and think. I calm myself, and think again.
And?
As an end result, there's something good about waiting, about being calm. They did clean their own shit.
A few days after the basketball court murder, the guy who killed a Commando gang member was found beaten to death in his own dormitory. Rumor in the yard is that the other gang executed their own man on JB's command. I wonder what the general thinks about gang retribution.
You could never have this in my country. You could never have this in my country.
When I was new here, I wonder, how come they allow these things? Then I started to see the benefits. Maybe they didn't know it but at the time. Just to keep the violence down, they just did it.
Right.
But right now, it works.
I know from experience there has to be a balance. You have to turn your back a little, otherwise there's chaos.
Obviously, if somebody was killed by another gang, the other gang has to kill someone, one from their side.
On your watch, has it happened?
On your watch, there was one incident when a week after somebody from the said Ranamok probably did it that way. Some basketball game, you know, mob behavior. Someone started throwing rocks, others will follow. Then you have a full-scale riot,
right?
A full-scale stampede.
So you have to go, after the first murder, you have to go home pretty much and say to yourself, I know something's going to happen, probably the faster the better, and end it, you know, in your mind.
If there is no, what do you call it, retribution, the tension mounts every day. I think so.
It seems the general knows exactly what happened after the basketball court murder. But if he's going to control this prison, even he can't ignore the gangster's code. It's my last night with JB, and even convicts look forward to the weekend.
I want you to experience Saturday nights. It's the best night.
Yeah, it must be
together with all the visitors.
Yeah.
There's going to be a gay competition. You want to see them? Right here, right here.
Okay, this is the beauty contest here at Billabad. And, I mean, these are what we call punks in prison. This one right here is Donna Karan, New York. And next we have Calvin Klein. As crazy as this might look, these are real desirable items in this place. I spent a lot of time in a penitentiary. Men killed for these women, or men, or... This is it?
This is it. This is it. This is the place.
It's like something right out of Mad Max.
Before I leave, I asked JB if the basketball murder was a rare incident. I learned that Billabid has plenty of skeletons in the closet. Literally.
At that place,
okay,
they recovered the skeleton.
Where, right here?
Right here, right here.
Would they find all his bones?
All bones.
Everything. A whole human skeleton.
Still with dress, but the skull is missing.
The skull is missing, so they cut his head off. Did he have any identifying clothes on him?
Not yet. They're still identifying the skeleton.
Okay, so you don't know what kind of gang or just a prison uniform?
Yeah, just rumors. Just
okay.
rumors.
Okay.
Billabid may look like Disneyland for gangsters, but since I came here, I found out about 2 recent murders, a violent beating that left a guy in a coma, and a buried skeleton. What do you want out of life?
Peace of mind. I could say that without thinking. But still, I'm wishing and still hoping.
JB has power, control, and money inside the world's biggest prison. But for all his perks, I'm going home tonight, and he's not. But I know how he feels. I also know that any gang leader can easily lose his life. In fact, the week after I left Billabid, another gang boss was shot dead by an inmate with a handgun, right where JB and I had been standing.